Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien in Bubba on Tuesday, October 8th. Little cool in Georgia for a change. Looks like fall's finally here. Anyway, wanted to do a video and answer a couple of questions. Specifically, two of them from a Miss Joyce Hines and a Mr. Roger Smith, who wrote me interesting emails. I'll start with Miss Hines first. And she writes, Dear Alien, my name is Joyce Hines. I'm not a Hines 57 either. I'm a sixth generation Democrat. And I resent the remark that you say that we are dum-dums. I've been a staunch Democrat ever since I was a little kid. My parents were Democrats and my grandparents were Democrats. And my parents taught me that the party fixes the country and knows the country best. And I have a question for you. Why do you call us dum-dums? And what do you mean by Constitution versus allegations as far as the Democratic senators and congressmen? But I really want to know why you call us dum-dums. And what do you mean by watermelons in their brains? Sincerely, Joyce Hines. Well, Miss Hines, I think you answered your own question there, but I'll leave it at that on that one. Mr. Roger Smith, he said, well, Mr. Quack, you must be a Republican. But how can you? You're an illegal alien, you say, and an alien. So what's the deal? I've been a Democrat. My whole family's been Democrat as far back as I remember. And to me, I view the party view is the country's view. Because we've saved this country numerous times from those stupid Republicans. The New Deal was ours. Medicare is ours. We even gave the African Americans the right to vote. Well, technically you didn't, but anyway, you say that, Mr. Smith. The party line is the party line. And what do you mean about Constitution? I read that paper and I don't even understand the heads or tails of it. Well, ouch. And then he goes on to say, so explain to me, what do you mean by Constitution versus allegations? I don't understand it. Well, sincerely, Roger Smith, devout and staunch Democrat. Well, Miss Hines and Mr. Smith, I think you've answered your own questions here as far as the way you think and why you're dum-dums and watermelons. I don't, and I'm not a Republican either. Like I keep on saying in my videos, Republicans are a little better than you, but not much. So I'm neither one. I've always said I was pro-Constitution here. And let me explain what I mean by Constitution versus allegations. When your House Speaker, Miss Pelosi, brings up whatever articles of impeachment they finally arrived at, your entire House has to vote on it. And most of them won't pass. There'll be about 2 or 3 of them that will pass, but there'll be about 3 or 4 of them that won't. It's always like that in the last 3 impeachments. But if you were Democrats and you were sitting there, Mr. Smith and Miss Hines, you would probably vote the party line because that's the way you are. We don't care a darn anything but the Democratic Party line is what you're telling me. That could be dangerous for the country and other people that want to survive. Here, Mr. Smith, if you understand everything and you vote yes for those impeachments, is there anything unconstitutional there? And I promise you there won't be. And here's why. Is President Trump unethical? Oh, you betcha. Is he vulgar? Oh, most definitely. Is he unpresidential? Oh, yes. Is he immoral? Oh, I would assume so by the way he's acting. But then again, you guys knew all this from the Apprentice days. I mean, what he was in The Apprentice is what he is as president. He hasn't changed a bit. I don't understand. Why you guys say he's a different guy? He's the same guy to me. That's why I don't understand how come the Republicans voted for him. But that's a different story. But on this one, Mr. Smith and Miss Hines, uh, is he repulsive? Yes. You can say everything bad about him he is. Has he committed a constitutional breach? Nobody has said so yet. And the people that count have to say so. You Democrats can say it as your heart content. It's still not right. Because you don't have the power to say he's unconstitutional. Especially Democrats from the Senate and Democrats from the House. There's only one body that can say he has been unconstitutional, and they haven't heard a peep from them. Any. The appeals court, the Supreme Court, you haven't heard a peep. And you probably won't, because Mr. Supreme Court Justice here, Roberts, he plays this close to the vest. He knows how to handle these situations. He had a good time at President Clinton's impeachment, and I guarantee you he's going to be the same as staunch to you Democrats as he was to those Republicans. And that's his party, according to you guys. And he gave him hell in that impeachment. So he's going to have some point of order there. But you guys are going to submit nothing that says that President Trump has been unconstitutional. I can say he's been unconstitutional. You can say he's been unconstitutional. Ms. Pelosi can say it to her heart's content that he's been unconstitutional. But you cannot bring it as an evidence because you don't have any. Just a hearsay. And that's allegations. And especially when the other president, the Ukraine president, is denying this left and right until his heart contents, and he's probably tired of hearing all this mess. You see, Democrats, and especially Miss Smith, Mrs. Hines and Mr. Smith, this is what I'm saying. You guys are between a rock and a hard place here. If you follow the party line, you're destroying the Constitution. That'll cost a Waterloo. Right now, you are in what I call Kobayashi Maru. Anyway, this is your favorite alien and Bubba saying good day.